Hi there, and welcome to week 5 of Show Me the Money. And as usual, I've got Craig, but he's on his phone today, so it should be a bit different. Hi, Craig.
Good afternoon, Johnny. How are you? Apologies for being on my phone. The laptop's out of juice, unfortunately, so it'll be on the phone today.
No problem. Obviously, we'll get started soon, but obviously, I've got a nice little bit of intro music for the next part. So.
Let's hear your intro music then. Oh, breaking news, Johnny. Breaking news. So here we go then. Talk me through it, Johnny. Talk me through the process. How did this come about?
Well, I did message Sean this morning and see if he was willing to get rid of either of his quarterbacks, but no surprisingly, Alan was over my dead body.
Yeah.
I offered a third for Tua getting a sixth back and offering him Jones, but obviously he came back with a third and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth, but I thought, what the hell?
Yeah.
So, I need a quarterback, and then I realised that obviously Jones was on a bye week, the same time as Alan, so we swapped it out for the old dud instead. So,
yeah, well, I mean, you'll know miss Russell Wilson, I'm sure, and
well, not after this week.
No, it's you're effectively paying the third and fourth for Tua, really, but you're getting back the fifth and sixth, so it's not like you're jumping away at the back end of the draft. There's a lot of damage can still be done in the fifth and sixth, but it's a lot to spend on Tua.
I know, but like I say, you need a quarterback. As long as he doesn't bang his head too much, he'll be all right.
Well, that's your problem. It's what, one injury away. But yeah, you're making a move, Johnny. You're making your move. You're making your presence felt.
I don't overly dislike the rest of my team. You know what I mean? Jones is he's out, but I just need a quarterback.
Yes, and I'm sure it's one that suits both. I'm sure Sean's rubbing his hands with delight getting into the box seat for next year, but at the same time, it's that puts you in the box seat for this year. So,
yeah, well, it's still early, but there's still plenty of things to go for. But that's the trade. But I'm happy enough with it. I've got a quarterback. Let's see, I've still got fifth and sixth for next year, so I'm not giving away. It's not as if I'm swapping it for an 8th or a 9th. I'm going to be completely screwed like I did a couple of years ago. But
no, that's that, and it's one of those ones as well. As I say, it puts you in the kind of, it gives you a right good chance to have a good run at it this year, and yeah, why not? It's the biggest surprising thing is for me is it's the first trade this year so far.
I know. Well, I had tried a couple of other ones, but they're sort of not back.
Yeah, I think I might be going a little bit shopping next week. Yeah, we'll see how things go this week first. We still do have 2 0-5 teams. So Graham and Sean both need to go off the mark. And
well, this is obviously not Sean getting off the mark, but this is Sean looking to next year.
Oh, it's absolutely. But with Alan there as well. I mean, he's one to watch in terms of having Tua sitting on the bench, and he's not going to be playing him because he's got Joe Allen. He's only going to play him 1 week.
I know. That's why I went for him, because obviously he's not going to play both.
No, he can't play both. So so it's a great move for Sean. It really is. He has absolutely made the most out of sitting with 2 good quarterbacks in his team, and that's the prize that you can get from it sometimes. If you do draft 2 good quarterbacks, you can only play one of them, but there's trade possibilities if someone's needing a quarterback in the run-in.
Yes. Well, that's it. I've got a quarterback at starting now, because Jones might be out for at least 1 or 2 weeks. And
yeah, that's
it. They are after another guard to hopefully help the defensive line, but they need more than one.
Well, yeah, they'll need a lot more than one. I think Jones is kind of a busted flush this year, certainly. It's that O-line is just looking horrible at the moment.
Yeah, it's like that 2 weeks ago. Most quarterbacks would have suffered with that because he was getting bombarded by both sides in the space of about 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's
not even the best quarterback can get out of that one in one piece. So, surprised he kept it for so long. But
it scares me for Barkley as well, because I can just see him coming back and then get hurt again, not getting much out of it. And but yeah, that's it's good that you've got 2 on board. And we've got, and as you say, Sean sitting on 5 already looking to next year. But it doesn't hurt his chances this year either, and he's not dead. On 5 isn't completely dead. You can go on a run, you win you lost 5 in a row, you win 5 in a row, and you're right back in it.
Precisely, he's only got rid of his backup quarterback. He's not got rid of anybody at start for 1 week. So.
And our Graham at hide and seek sitting at 0-5, but by no means giving up. I was trying to shop with him on Wednesday night to no avail, but he's not giving up just yet. If he can get a win this week, and he's got Eckler back now, so that 0-5 should go to the one should appear soon.
Definitely.
And at the other end of the spectrum, we still have 1-0.
There he is there. Yes, 5-0.
Still have 1-0, the 5-0. Although I think it might just be that it's coming to a premature end this week. I would imagine. I'm up against Alan this week, but yeah, last week was a great win. 119 points again, so knocking the points out the park once more. But I've lost A-Chain to IR, obviously, which is a disaster. Taylor's came back, but what worries me is just how well Moss done last week. That scares me ever so slightly,
Yeah, but Taylor's first game back, I think he will get more, especially now that he's been paid a bit. So,
well, yeah,
so his first game back is always a bit.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it doesn't worry me. I think Taylor will do just fine in the kind of the run-in and heading into the playoffs and stuff, provided he stays fit. But it does slightly bother me that. Slightly bothers me that Moss done so well. He's not just going to disappear into the background now.
No, he did good last week, like so.
But yeah, so that's. But it was a big win. The week started off great for me with DJ Moore striking up 41 points, and by the time Love and Dubs got me a whole 3.48 between them.
Not even that, 3.38, so yeah.
3.38. Yeah, 3.38 between them. But by the time that happened, I was already well over the line. I mean, look at what happened to Chris this week. Just an absolute disaster of a week for him, you've got to say. Richardson, boom, down, IR. Jefferson, boom, down, IR. And that's two of his really big players and two of the big reasons that he was sitting at 3-1,
I know, and then you got Mims with minus 1.6 because you had one catch for minus, I think it was. It's a bit,
yeah.
But then look at he's got Mayfield who'll come in, and you've got Ford who'll still be the one back there. So,
and Kelly's I think Kelly's going to do better as the understudy because he certainly didn't step up in the main bit, So
he does do better coming in relief than he does for a starter because the start of the season he did well in the first game, so it is a good one. So. Oh, lost you.
Oh, sorry. Here I am.
And obviously, Jay Jones is out this week, I think. So,
yeah, I mean, it's
short of a wide receiver. I got Watson. So
he's got issue at quarterback, issue at wide receiver there, and it's two big players that he's losing. So that's massive for Chris, and it's massive for his chances, But as you say, he does have good cover on the bench here for drafting so late.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, Zay Jones will do just fine when he gets on the field. I see he's out again this week, but he'll do just fine, And as you say, he's got Watson there to come back in, and Love will have much better weeks than that. That was just a bad week. But yeah, Bigsby, he was forced into playing Bigsby, which didn't help him. 0.8, as you say, Mims minus 1.6, and then this week and Thursday night there, Mims did not get targeted.
I never really know. Did he not? Oh wow!
No targets, 0 targets.
He only threw for 95 yards.
So. He did only throw for 90, and he only had 22 attempts, and I think it was it 12 for 22 or something like that. That he's
one touchdown, 2 interceptions, but 31 rushing yards. So yeah, it was not a very good performance.
No. I think we can all say that one was a bad one, but I don't see where Mims is going to be. I mean, he might have the odd week, but you just can't play him anymore, because you don't know what he's going to get. No. Collins will have his better weeks as well, though. But yeah, bad loss for Chris, only 44 points. But the reasons are highlighted are massive. Richardson and Jefferson both out, and you're worried. I worry for his season now with both Richardson and Jefferson on IR.
Jefferson's out for a few weeks, but not.
Yeah, he's just got to hang on in there. He's just got to hang on in there. If he can get to Richardson, and if he can go 1-3, even 1-3. If he can go 1-3 in the next 4 games, and then he gets Richardson and Jefferson back after that, then he's still in with the hunt. Kind of 4-5 won't be a disaster.
Yeah, well, as you pointed out, the fixtures have gone on the squib again, so we'll no bother looking at the next week. But we do have this week again. I'll be doing this afternoon, sorting the bloody fixtures again. But
yes, the fixtures are a wee bit screw with for week 7. But yeah, so good one for me, not so good for Chris. And this was the North bounced back massively after losing 3-1 the week before. The North has bounced back and swept the South this week. So here we go, game number 2, Factory of Sadness beating Hyde and Zeke, 101, another 100-point score. So Sean starting to fire in again, and all of a sudden not looking too bad. 2-3 teams getting a bit better.
We lost Johnson.
He's lost Johnson, but I mean Johnson. But there was talk that he might have been playing this week, so it's no disaster. He's lost him for a week maybe, and with Herbert going down, and I believe Herbert's went on to IR, so
that's a sore one.
That will help him massively. But yeah, so you've got Henry obviously not showing up very well. Henry seems to be 1 week on, 1 week off at the moment, doesn't he?
Yeah, but it was a Jamar Chase show this week.
It was a Jamar Chase show this week. That's it, and that's exactly where he's got it to. So he's got Jamar Chase, and it's Chase is going very well. 37.2. Kirk Cousins as well, back to 20 points again. So all going well. So yeah, I don't think it's a total disaster.
No, it's a good win, and obviously Graham's steady-ish, but he's got a few players on bye which he'll get back.
Oh, sorry, Johnny. I think I lost you there again. Did I lose you?
Yeah, you were quiet for a second here.
Sorry, yeah, I thought I lost you there. Yeah, so yeah, great week for Sean. Bouncing back to 2 and 3. Not so great week for Graham on 5. I mean, Graham's teams. It's just he put his faith in Prescott. I think something that he would love to go back and change. It's just not the quarterback that he should be and that we thought he would be, didn't?
It's just about it for a couple of years now, so she really get the hang of it. And obviously Ferguson, who's been not bad the first couple of weeks, did nothing.
Yeah, but I mean,
2 defensive teams both scoring 16 points, but you can't play them both.
No, well, that's the thing, and that's the problem with having 2 defences in your team, isn't it? But
one QB.
I mean, it's not all doom and gloom for Graham. Kendrick Miller got some touches this week. Scoring 9 points. That was quite decent for him. As you say, the Bengals D, he's got Eckler coming back and Lockett coming back off this week. But Eckler, he's been missing for so long now, So if fitting Eckler in there, Addison's going to obviously only get his stock has risen with the injury to JJ. So Puka has proved he can live with Cup as well.
Waddle.
So yeah. I mean, it's not a bad team. If we can just get Prescott to start delivering something, he'll get his wins, And as I say, I'm not surprised Graham's not totally given up yet, because he has the basis of a team there, but they just don't seem to be firing on all cylinders at the moment.
True.
And I mean, Sean's got the Komet just seems to be going from. So it wasn't a fluke. He's getting more and more. You think Komet has a big game and you think, oh, you'll not see him again for 3 or 4 weeks. But no, he's been...
He was questionable earlier on the week, but he's actually playing now. He got taken off the injury report on Friday, I think it was.
Yeah,
Rice had another good game this week, but I don't know if he played him on Thursday night, to be honest.
But I'm not sure if he played them on Thursday night, to be honest with you. I've got it open in week 5 at the moment. We'll look at week 6. We'll look at week 6 later. But certainly, yeah, Johnson was a sore one going off, but it's a comfortable win. It's 100 points without really apart Chase aside. He's got Henry there that's not done much. He should have done a lot more. So yeah, it's things are looking positive for Sean, and he's got Williams back. He's back for Detroit. You've got to think his game's going to come on. Having Moore on the bench and Rice, it's Moore's a bit of a that's you got to pick the one to play, and it's that's always a difficult one. But I'm not even convinced Perrine's going to do much with McLaughlin now showing up in Detroit, in Denver. So
and Williams back as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not 100% convinced on Sean's bench, but certainly.
But then Josh down gets the targets while Minshew's there.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's a positive for all the wide receivers, Minshew being in as opposed to Richardson, I've got to say, because, Minshew ain't going to take off for 20 yards, 30 yards every
It'll
couple
help
of plays.
the running backs as well, actually. It'll help Moss and Taylor. So
yeah, I think so. So, yeah, big win for Sean. Not so good for Graham.
2-3. No. Then on to the boys are back in town, 3-2 against the Varsity Blues, 2-3.
So is this the Varsity Blues finally going to stand up and say, here I am, this is why I done all of this? I mean, he dropped, who was it? He dropped London to agency. I mean, you could have got a trade.
Oh, yeah, who picked him up? I can't mind. Who did that? I never even noticed
it was Alan that grabbed him up.
That's a sneaky one, that one.
Yeah, that's one of those ones. That was one of those ones where that's a silly one, But at the end of the day, do you know what the thing is? He needed to pick up a back. So what else did he do?
Demercado.
He had Charbonnet and Walker both on bye week, and he had Williams, who he was wanting to play but ended up out. So he had to go and pick someone up. So he went and picked up DeMarco,
who did well.
Yes. But dropping Drake London could come back and bite him in the ass, as you say. Though, what else was he going to do? He had nothing else really there to get rid of, and maybe Cats, but maybe
But having Walker and Charbonnet, I don't think he's ever going to play them both.
No, he's never going to play them both. But I think that's a handcuff, isn't it? If Walker goes down, he's got the backup sitting right there. I can understand that as well. But it's a great win for him, and you can see the strength in his team. It's when you look at the bench and look at what he's managed to play, and that's testament to where he was drafting from. But for some reason or another, they've just not quite got there, and he's on 3 losses. But this is a big win. It could be a big turning point for Crowley. If he can go and win this week and make it 3-3, then he is right back in a hunt, and he should still be favourite with the squad that he's got. I mean, you've got you get Smith getting 0 point and getting six receiving yards. I mean, that's
because they were throwing about the Goddard already. But Wilson will get more than 5 points.
Yeah, but you can understand why Wilson's not getting it. He's lost his big quarterback, and that's and Zach Wilson's just pretty poor. But he'll have better weeks than that, obviously. But it's you can understand why Wilson's fell off. But Smith, it's nothing. It's just what's he done? He's had one good game this year.
I think they tried to throw him for a deep touchdown pass, but he didn't catch it. Once they were noticing he hadn't done anything, but yeah, it was all AJ Brown and Goddard. So big one, and Ross back to 3-2 now. He's a wee loss after a couple of good wins, but the Cowboys D been so reliable for him so far this season, -1. So that was a bit of a slap in the face, and Joe Burrow bounced back for him at least. Joe Burrow looked like Joe Burrow again, so that's going to be good news for him. Yeah, that's it. I mean, Gibson got some points if he doesn't want to play Cook, but
he'll have an interesting Sunday afternoon this afternoon, Ross. He'll have Edwards and Andrews both playing this afternoon. But yeah, I mean, he's got Swift there, still thinking away okay. James Cook, he did not look good, did he, last week? I'm getting a bit worried about Cook, I've got to say, but Samuel will have better.
But then the week before, James Cook looked good, so it's a bit up and down. They've got that many running backs back there too, doesn't really help. But
that's the thing, that's the problem. But I do, we can, Cook needs to take control of that backfield now and make it his,
But I think I picked up Murray just in case Parker doesn't play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why. I don't think that's the worst thing you could do, But there he's got, and there you go. There's the age-old problem. He's got Joe Burrow, so you can't not play Joe Burrow, But then Purdy goes and scores 3 points on the bench,
Yeah. And he is looking good for a. Obviously, Doug's not listening at the moment, so I can agree to that one.
But yeah,
Mr. Doug's MVP.
It's very much.
It's a nice team.
Game on for both of these teams, heading into week 6, 3-2, 2-3.
The Cowboys won't do -1 again unless they maybe play the Eagles. But
you wouldn't imagine they'll do -1 again. The Cowboys D. I do think the Cowboy D is legit. I just think it didn't go up well against the 49ers. 49ers team, you know, they found a way to beat it, obviously. But and on the other side, there's Grote with the 49ers D sitting in down there, you know, tucking up 16 points, 17-point swing there, you know, just in the defences.
Well, he did have all those points. Did he not pick the Niners defense before half? Like the Blue Jays that had even picked like the fourth player. Because they'd had all his picks. He'd picked this whole team before most of us even half a pick.
Yeah, that will absolutely.
So that's the joy of having all the early picks. He's got the.
That's that, and Sean will be understanding that next year, I'm sure, because now that he's getting. And do you know what the thing is? See, once you do your first one and you pick up your first couple of early picks, that's it. You think that's it, and you're just at it now. So I do think Sean will be active again before long, you know, and picking up some more picks. I think Sean will be next year's Grote.
Well, I hope so, because I like Sean. It'd be nice if he has a bit more luck.
Oh yeah, he'll
he's had a bit of bad luck over the years, so hopefully
he's had some bad luck over the years for sure. But yeah, we'll see how he does with it. But yeah, it's Grote's year this year. This is the year of the Grote, and at 2 and 3, it's not the best of starts, but it's not the worst of starts, and the squad is strong, so I can see Grote making moves. And here we go, another 100 points. Unlucky for Alan Kirkwall Raiders, you know,
so unlucky.
98's decent, you know, you can't complain at getting 98 points. And but yeah, it's a loss for Alan, 3 and 2, and Doug right back in the hunt again, and liking his team, you know, it's amazing how quickly it can swing, you know, one week to the next. But Doug's loving his team now, I think.
I actually forgot to change the. Here, it's actually he got 18 points for the Jets. I'm pretty sure the Raiders. Yeah,
18 points for the Jets. Yeah, it was 18 points for the Jets. So yeah, I mean, it was very unlucky for Alan. He lost Herbert. He's lost Herbert to IR. He's you know, Waller's done fine for him. Lamb's not done a whole lot, but he'll be delighted that Hall bounced back. You know, and you've got to hope that that's not just a kickback on who they were playing. You know, Hall, that should be Hall up and running now this season.
Oh, for God's sake, it didn't actually change his team at all. It kept your team.
What do you mean? So you have. That's my team.
Well, I usually copy and paste it over and then just change them over, but I think I did it halfway through and stopped doing it.
Yeah.
So his team's nothing like. So he basically had Dobbs at 9.74.
It's his bench you've got.
Yeah, I just didn't change the first part.
It's his bench he's got his team. Yeah, I mean, I do not blame Alan for not playing Moss when he found out that Taylor was back. Don't play Moss. I've absolutely no problem with that. But it must have stung that he got 31.5 points.
I know. The thing is, though, he's like Williams had 5.7 and he lost Herbert.
Yeah, I know.
So he got 7 points still.
Williams is going to do just fine this year. You know, he is the bell cow in LA, and as long as he stays fit, he will have his weeks, you know, and there'll be more often than not. He's got, obviously, Herbert going out. He's got Moss that can fill in there, because Moss isn't just going to disappear right now.
No.
So he can fit Moss in there until Herbert comes back.
He only got 4 points off CD Lamb. He'll get more than 4 points in normal.
Yeah.
Say Jones will have a big game today, I think. So.
He's got Herbert and Johnson coming back off bye week as well. So yeah, it was a tough week for him. When your quarterback's on your bye week, you know, he's had to plug in Dobbs there, and he's got him 9.74 points. And again, when such small margins, you know, you look at Doug and Goff, and he's got 31 points there from his quarterback, and it makes such a huge difference.
Did he not drop Stafford for Dobbs, and then you picked up Stafford? But it wouldn't have made a difference. It would have made it closer, but not enough to change the tie.
I picked up Stafford.
9 points. Yeah.
I picked up Stafford specifically for this week because obviously Love's on his bye week. So I'm actually sitting with a quarterback and a tight end on my bench, which is not like me.
I know. Obviously, it wouldn't have made a difference. It would only be like a 9 point difference. So it would have been 107. But still, yeah. If that had been a difference, it would have been a sore one.
But I mean, a good week for Doug, you know, a good score, 111 points without anyone absolutely, you know, without anyone going off in one like a DJ Moore or a Jamar Chase, you know. Montgomery doing his thing, he's a 3 down back, and, you know, Gibbs is out again, so it looks like that's Montgomery's backfield to lose at the moment. You know, I took a pop at him for having both Goff and Montgomery last week, and there you go, you know, 30-40 50 points between them, so maybe they can both coexist. You know, they certainly can. They certainly did last week.
Well, he had a good start with that long touchdown run.
He did, yeah.
That was the game, which sort of did it.
But yeah, I mean, Warren, it's about, you know,
he's on the bench.
He's got McLaughlin, you know, and Spears, who's getting his touches, you know. So that's you've got three guys here who you can alternate between, depending on matchup. You know, they should do quite well week on, you know, a lot of weeks. He's got his two Browns there and wide receiver that are you know, flying. Hollywood seems to be the target in Arizona, you know, and AJ's AJ. He's got Kelsey at tight end. He's got Mike. Bit heavy on the Arizona receivers, but
he's got Wilson back from IR. He'll be back. Pretty much he'll play this week, but
yeah, he'll be cut. And he's heavy on that when Murray comes back. But he's got Smith and Jemba, who you've got to think is going to get better as the season goes on, to come in and well, you know, who knows about what's going to happen at the Patriots. But Parker's he's certainly the highest paid receiver there, so you would think that he's going to start. He'll have some weeks.
Yeah, so it's a good week for the North.
It's not a bad not a bad squad there for Dougie at all. And at 2-3, as you know, they're all three behind me, but that's neither here nor there. You know, that can disappear very, very quickly. And so yeah, the North Division, I'm sitting at top 5 now. And then you've got all three of them in Backs We Trust, Factory of Sadness, and Varsity Blues are all sitting 2 and 3. All sitting
at rank 9, 10, and 11. So they're just out the playoff spots.
So just out the playoff spots. But I mean, everyone's 3 and 2 or 2 and 3. It seems. You know what have we got? We've got 2 0 and 5s, 2 4 and 1s, and a 5 and 0, and everyone else is 3 and 2 or 2 and 3.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
So it is all close. And then you go into the south, and obviously you've got, because Graham's down there at 0 and 5, the other 3 are all 3 and 2. And but of course it's the old North battle again this week. So it's North v South again, Mark 3.
Yeah.
Can the South bounce back again? I'm playing Alan. I've got Kirkwall Raiders this week.
Hopefully the projections don't go the way they're supposed to, or you will be losing your first one.
Well, I think the first loss is imminent. I believe, you know, I'm not as comfortable with the team now as I was last week with it. I've lost A-Chain obviously to injured reserve, but I look at my bench now, and I looked at my bench a couple of weeks ago and I thought that's really strong. I don't want to lose anyone from that. And now I look at it and think, yeah, Everett can go. Dubs isn't doing the best. I've had to bring in Wandale Robinson in case something happens to Barkley. Thank you for dropping Wandale, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome.
But I've got Barkley in there, you know. So if he ends up not playing on Monday night, then I'm going to need to drop in Wandale to get a player. But yeah,
well, I've got Higgins on questionable for this week, but if he doesn't play, then I think I picked up Murray. I can't mind.
Yeah, you've got Higgins at 6 o'clock on Sunday, though. I've got Barkley at the last game of the. You know, I need a Bill or a Giant to plug in case he doesn't play.
Well, that didn't really help me last week because obviously Jones got called out in the late game on Tuesday or whatever it is, and I didn't have any cover. So but we'll get to that one eventually.
But yeah, so I mean, my team I've left out Sutton. I left out Sutton and he got me 10 points. I kind of wish I plugged them in now. But my team, other than that, picked itself. I've got Love and Dubs on bye, and I've got Wandale on the bench now just in case Bartley doesn't play. So everyone else kind of plugged in automatically. But yeah, I've got Jacobs, I've got Taylor, and I've got Barkley. 3 great running backs.
Yeah.
But if one of them goes down now, I'm in a big pile of poo, you know. And so I will probably be shopping if especially if this week doesn't go the way I think it will. And of course, Alan's got Herbert coming back. He's got Williams, Hall, Lamb, Flowers, Waller. He's plugged Zach Mott in to the flex this week. So yeah, and you know, his other options are Dell Johnson. He's got Ingram sitting there in the bench. You might want to throw the dice with Ingram. You know, if Ingram or Moss. That's what Alan's going to be tossing this week. But yeah, I think he's a favourite this week. And then we've got Varsity Blues going up against Graham's hide and Zeke. So, you know, Varsity.
Yeah, you look at Graham's team, it's not bad, like. apart from Prescott.
It's not apart from Prescott, as you say. I mean, he's leaving. He's got Tyler Lockett sitting on the bench at this moment in time for this week, and I can see why, because he's playing Waddle, he's playing Puka, and he's playing Addison, and he's playing Pearson Eckler at running back. So yeah, I mean, this is a big week for Graham with Eckler back, finally fitting back. He's desperate for the win, but it's just as big a week for Grote, because Grote needs to get on a wee roll. 2-4 after 6 is not where you want to be.
No.
So, but I think that's a huge game. I think that's an absolutely massive game this week for both players.
Doug's got a nice start.
Massive game for Doug against the Bluetown Patriots. He's off to a good start with 16.6 points, although it is from two players, Kelsey and McLaughlin, because McLaughlin didn't do jack this week and he started him.
Yeah,
so
he's got Reynolds playing, running back Detroit as backup to Montgomery. So he'll be hoping Montgomery gets injured and then Reynolds will take over.
Well, that's it really will be, because Montgomery's in Doug's team, so
yeah,
really hoping either that or it's a blowout and Reynolds gets the back end pick, the last kind of quarter, etc. But yeah, I mean, Chris has got Ford back obviously, and he's got but he's having to plug in Reynolds. And he's got Laporta there as well. So yeah, it's a tight game, this one. I fancy Doug to win it though, just with what Chris has been forced to play. It's very difficult when you lose Richardson and Jefferson in 1 week. That's very difficult. It's difficult. You've got Mims, who didn't touch the ball. He rightly didn't play him. Bigsby, who's not doing a whole lot at the moment. Kelly, who's been, Eckler's back. And then Zay Jones is out and Watson's on bye. So, again, Chris's team's pretty much picked itself, including having to play Reynolds, and Bourne. So, whilst Doug doesn't have a Reynolds or a Bourne in his team, he's getting. I still think this will be a right 50-50 one, and it'll go the distance.
And of course, the last one in the inter-division one is Ross against Sean. Sean's start.
No, Sean's off to hot. Again, it's 3-2 v2 and 3. See all of these 3-2 v2 and 3s. I think it's essential that the 2 and 3s get that win there, and just get themselves back to level pegging. But it's going to be tough for Sean. Minus 0.4 for Perrine. That's not a good start. He's still got Algiers punched in there in the flex, and I'm not sure how much of the ball he's going to see.
He had a nice game as well, 7 points. But
he left Rice and Moore both on the bench, which ultimately has turned out to be okay, given the fact that they've not got that much. But I think Sean's really going to need Chase to go off this week against Seattle. He's going to need another big game from Chase here, because I think Ross's team is just solid right through.
Yeah, it is.
And he's leaving. He's leaving Burrow on the bench to start Purdy against the number 1 defense, Cleveland Browns. That's a brave. That's a big move. That's a brave move, Ross.
I know, especially Seattle getting there good, but
it's
not in Seattle.
No,
in Seattle, I'd understand it because they're so bloody loud.
But Burrow's, and after Burrow's game last week, I'm surprised at that. I'm really surprised at that. But yeah, I mean, everyone in Ross's team, should deliver something, So yeah.
Well, maybe Ross didn't want Joe Burrow throwing the balls to Chase. Pointing everything into a touchdown.
Yeah,
maybe
but at least
it's too hard to bear.
At least it's kind of nullifying it a little bit,
But
yeah, so that's a big week there. Big week for these 2 and 3s to get on and catch up with the 3-2s and get those wins. And that's for me. If I lose it, I lose it. To be honest with you, at this point, I'd be happy just to get the undefeated. The undefeated weight off my shoulder, take the loss and move on. But we'll see how it goes.
So that's on to the East and West.
So now on to the East and West, and what a win for Joe. This one is it was beating the regular season maestros, Le'Veon and a prayer, but it's 3-2 now. I mean, it's a great squad, but it's 3-2. It's got 2 losses on the board after 5 weeks.
Yeah, well, look at the bench. Look who left on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, it's a problem when you've got a squad just too good. You're going to end up leaving stuff on the bench. But I mean, Etienne on the bench, that's a massive call to play. Brian Robinson and James. I can see James Conner, But play Brian Robinson over Etienne was a huge call. It's obviously backfired massively and cost them the game. So, and it's he's lost Connor to IR now as well, which is not good for Michael. But as you say, Hopkins is there on the bench. Judy's going to have much better weeks. He's got Smith coming, Gino coming back off bye. And so I mean, it's a loss. He's still 3-2 though. He's still top of the division, I believe.
Oh yeah, yes, he is.
Tied with you, but top of the division. It's so not a disastrous loss by any manner of means. And as for defending champs Joe, that's him on a 3-game win streak now.
But then he just lost Sanders, but he did just pick up Ahmed from Miami.
Yes, and Ahmed's going to be the backup this week, you would think, even if Jeff Wilson does come back off IR, he is going to be the backup. So
definitely. You'd imagine be playing Amon Ra St. Brown over Khalif Raymond.
You've got Amon Ra to come out. DJ Sharp doing okay as well now, he's got Adele. He'll have these weeks. But yeah, I mean, Sanders obviously out. For how long, who knows? I don't think it's out for long though, is it? So, Cooper Cup back in 118 yards in his first week. That's massive. I think Joe's biggest problem is his quarterback, to be honest with you. Trevor Lawrence just is not turning it on. 315 yards in the end, but it didn't look like it, did it?
No, for all those yards, he only got 12 points.
Yeah, so 12.7 points. So I think that's where Joe's biggest problem lies. He needs Lawrence to start being the quarterback we all think he is, because he's got Matt Jones on the bench, but that's no option. Is Matt Jones even starting this week?
I think he's playing this week, but if he carries on, I don't think he'll be playing for much longer.
Yeah, it's certainly not looking good for him. But big win for Joe all the same, and that's him 4-1 and marching towards the playoffs now. So looking good for Tartan Bears and Le'Veon and a prayer. Nothing to worry about yet.
No, so on to the next one. We've got the Flying Eagles, but they were flying in that one.
So Graham bouncing back to get back on the winning trail. 94.88 points, decent week. Bad week for Alan. Lamar Jackson. Talk to me about Lamar Jackson.
That was horrible.
I don't know it's been horrible all season. He's just, he's got his money and now he's turned into half the quarterback, if you ask me.
Yeah, but to be honest, he played like that last year before he went out. Ken, he's not played brilliant probably since his MVP season.
Agreed.
And he's cost him a lot of games. He can't stay in the field.
Because defences have caught up to him now. They know what he's going to do and they can nullify it. It's an age-old problem. So
I think that's 17-foot receivers.
He'll have better weeks than 5.94. Of course he will, but I see that as being a problem for Allen for the rest of the year. I see Najee Harris being a problem for him as well, because Najee he doesn't look like what everyone thought.
I've got him in too many places, and he does look slow, but I can't get rid of him nowadays. But
no, that's the thing, and it's I've got him in a couple of dynasties, and it's I'd love to get shot, but no one's going to give you jack for him at the moment. But he's got Pickens there on the bench, which is good news for him, because Pickens is now looking like he's Pickett's man, and big week for him there. He's got Diggs and Kirk, so I like the receiver room. I like his receiver room for sure, but he's got a problem at running back, and for me, he's got a problem at quarterback. Where can you play Carr over Lamar ever?
No,
I think he's going to have to make that call pretty soon to do that.
I know, but Carr's not look great, but somehow he managed to still get 17 points. And it's just he looked awful.
Exactly, but the points come because they are going through there, and it's not all these stupid dinky plays like Baltimore try and pull off, But great win for Graham. That keeps his interest well and truly up. Sitting at 1-3, if you go 1-4, it's a bit of a long way back from 1-4. Not by no means dead, but long way back. Whereas 2 and 3 are looking good. One more win on 500, So great week for Graham. Justin Fields got him off to a flying start, obviously, with the 37.98 points.
Adam Reliable Thielen seems to be a favourite target and getting everything.
He is, yeah. But he's just like he's like Peter Pan is Thielen, isn't he? He's never grown up.
Logan Thomas, if he can stay fit, it's always been a good tight end, but staying on the field is his problem.
And I'll tell you how. See, I'm not being funny, but I think it was Doug picked up Howell out of agency this week, and he's doing absolutely just fine. I almost went Hull, but I preferred Stafford's match-up this week because Stafford had the Cardinals this week, so I picked him up instead of Hull. But yeah, it's but feeling going back, and Terry McLaurin's going to have much better weeks, and again he's going to have, Hull's doing very well. My problem here is McLaurin and Thomas. They're both not going to get the ball thrown to them the whole game.
Thomas is actually probably more. What do you call it? He gets more consistency with Hull. Because McLaurin, remember last week he got double figures, but it's only because he actually got the fumble in the end zone.
Yeah, the touchdown. Yeah, so I mean that is, but obviously, I mean Devontae Adams is going to have much better weeks than that, and Kamara looks like Kamara. Kamara doesn't look like he's lost a beat. So yeah, I'm looking at.
Didn't do much, but Hubbard's the number one running back this week with Sanders being out.
It's a great win for Graham, as I say. In 2 and 3, if he can get the win this week, get back to 500, then right back in the hunt and in the playoff chase. Heading into the middle part of the season.
I don't really want to talk about the next one.
Let's talk about the next one. Oh no,
okay. I'm spared for a minute.
You'll talk about this one, okay? Again, here he comes again. 4-1, Marky boy, 4-1. With what?
With Dalvin Cook.
With Dalvin Cook, But yeah, great win for him. 81.84 points against Sean, 67.66. Again, Sean is just Knox questionable, Woods questionable. This week he had the Browns on bye, he had White on bye, and he had Allen on bye. So a very tough week for him to begin with, anyway. But
they'll have Allen and White back in. So.
It's a long old run for Sean from here at 0-5. And it looks like he's starting to trade away. So I'm looking at his team now, and I'm thinking Keenan Allen's one you could get. But aside of that, I'm not sure I'm trading for anything else there. I mean, Breida's pretty much gone now, and he's not done anything anyway. He's going to have to, but he'll get White back this week.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. Obviously, Catherine picked up Brightwell because he got out the injury report and the fantasy, and it ended up in Gray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
not that much anyway, but it's like, what the flipping hell, man.
But I mean, a great win for Mark. 4-1 now, Johnny. 4-1 he is. And, Mahomes is always going to go well. Mahomes is going to do okay. He's finally got a decent enough tight end in there in Zach Ertz. He should do okay down there in Arizona. He's getting touches and such. Gabe Davies is doing just fine. Dotson will have better weeks. He's got
I could put a spoiler. He's already got 17 points for Butker this week.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So he has, yeah. So it's great. And I tell you, Butker gets a lot of points because for some reason Kansas don't punch it. That Kansas offense isn't all that at the moment. They can move the ball, but they struggle to score.
I think they know that obviously they can still kick a field goal, but they're still going to get the ball back. They're still going to go down the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Not like teams that play against them have to go for it because they know Kansas City can be down the field in about 20 seconds.
But that struggling to score is going to come back and bite them in the ass. I'm sure of it. But yeah, Metcalf on bye week coming back this week as well. So things are looking very good for Mark again. It's he's looking good to make a run into the playoffs, but he needs to keep going. Because with what he's got there, it does. He needs to pick the right team every week, I would say.
I know, but if he doesn't have to this week, he's playing me. But that's another story.
And so then the final game. Batman's boobies often back up and running again. After winning the first week and then they lost 3 in a row. They've bounced back with 66 points, not good. But Johnny, 62 points, and it was a bit like. To be fair, it's a harsh one. You ran into Jones, which is a problem, and Daniel Jones going off so early. It's absolutely killed him.
And Robinson going on and off like a bloody yo-yo.
Yes, that didn't help either. So just one of those weeks, I think, Johnny. Yeah.
Well, that's it. Well, my team this week isn't much better, but I've got limited what I can actually choose. But
I mean, Gibbs is out. Fryermuth's still out, but you've got T. Higgins back. That could be massive. T. Higgins coming back, and of course Osborne's going to get. Surely Osborne's going to get a lot more now. JJ's out because it's Osborne and Addison. That's it now.
Yes, Osborne's in the start lineup, but we'll see that in a minute. But yeah, even like Ray had to pick that team because they're all on a bye, but I basically nearly had to pick my team too because, well, 3 were no playing. Probably should have picked Wilson, but Jones I thought against Miami because they usually get a shootout against Miami, but it was just awful. Plus, the fact going out didn't help. Jones, I didn't have a backup in case he didn't play because it looked like he was going to play, then all of a sudden he didn't play, and it's like, well, that's that fucked in.
Yeah, and that's the thing, but he was expected to play, so it was a left field one. But yeah, I mean, Ray's team had to pick itself there with them all on all out, you know, and he's got a same problem this week because Watson's out, and you know, are you plugging Cooper in for PJ Walker throwing at him?
Although I'm not overly amused with the coverage for Myers' touchdown because that was fucking awful. Because all they do is stop him on the 1 yard line and they won.
Yes, well, you know, welcome to Green Bay.
Because what the hell were they doing that far back? It's just like, oh man, what's fucking shocking. But
yeah, it was the touchdown that won him the game as well, wasn't it? So
that was bloody awful. That coverage, man. But no, it wasn't a pretty game anyway. But you never know. You might have actually got the touchdown by the next pass, but it was a bit of a sore one.
Yeah, I'm sure. But it's one of those ones, you know, you run into them. When you're at 3-1, you can afford to run into a game like that, Johnny, you know, and just wipe it off and move on. It was a massive win for Ray, though. Massive win for Ray. It gets him right back in the hunt. It puts him probably a game that he would have been thinking going into he's going to lose. He's got the win. He's got all of those players through the bye week now, and he can kick on from here. McCaffrey's just going, you know, as long as McCaffrey stays fit, Ray's got a chance.
Yeah. Obviously, the Lions defense lost loads of points in garbage time as well.
They did.
But then that's the week done.
So that's it. So this week, so the West is now sitting. Where are we at? So we have in the East, we have Copenhagen Jets and Tartan Bears both 4-1, and Batman's beat some Flying Eagles 2-3. So a wee bit of a gap opening there. Batman's and Park are going to need to start eating into that. And down in the West, we've got Levion and Affair and the Madhouse G-Men at 3-2. And we've got Scheme Team at 2-3, right in the hunt, and Eskimo Brothers plays 2.
Yes. So this week,
Tartan
Bears are playing Scheme Team.
So that's going
to by Scheme Team.
Yep. So that's a massive game for Scheme Team because Tartan Bears at 4-1. Alan really needs the win here. You know, 2-4. Especially, you know, obviously depending on how you get on and how Michael gets on, but if you and Michael were both going win this week and Alan was to lose, and you open up that two game gap, you know, that 2 game gap's just.
Oh, I'm getting pumped this week, but that's just the way it goes.
Well, it's so I've got yours up. So you're playing Mark and Copenhagen Jets. So I've got yours on my screen here, and I'm just looking at what's going on. So you went and spent your fab on Foreman. I seen this week as well. So he's plugged in as.
Well, I had to. So I didn't really have a choice, but I put Jones on IR so I could pick up Foreman.
Yeah. And you've got, I mean, your team's picking, apart of Murray aside, your team's picked itself this week again as well. And Murray, you might need to plug in if Higgins doesn't. Then,
that's why I picked him up this morning, because if Higgins doesn't play, then Murray will step in.
Yeah, Murray will step in.
I think he'll get touches because he'll be that far ahead, and the Giants are just going to.
I agree. Yeah, so. I think he'll get quite a few garbage times, I would think, touches. So, but yeah, I mean, Mark's team's pretty much how it should, you know. Who's he leaving on the bench? Is he leaving anyone on the bench? He's leaving Dotson on the bench. He's leaving Samuel on the bench. So he's no fancying the Washington receivers against Atlanta. He's leaving.
He got a touchdown for Tony. He got 17 points for his kick, and he got 17 points for Mahomes. So I got 4.9 for useless Wilson, who now will be leaving me. Thank God for that. And
Pacheco, but 9.8 for Pacheco. So I mean, yeah, you're behind, but he's had 3 players. Yeah, 17 for his kicker, but Tony 6.4. That's if he did, you know, it's nothing without a touchdown, you know. So Mahomes has obviously done him fine again without knocking it out of the park, but certainly he's beaten your quarterback by 13, so that's a big one. But yeah, it's far from over yet, Johnny. That's game's still on.
Well, there is also a possibility that Pacheco actually outscores Dalvin Cook by not far off like difference. So
yeah, exactly.
That's the stinker, but he's got good receivers. Again, Davis and Metcalf against.
It's very much game on, though. So. It's game on. And then you've got Tartan Bears going up against Scheme Team, as we said earlier, just ticked on earlier. But massive game for Alan. I think Alan really needs this one to get 3-3 and get himself right back in it. But, you know, Joe at 4-1 could afford to lose it. What's he got? He's got Joe's whole entire backfield is Miami. He's got Mostert and Ahmed. So that kind of scares me. You know, Joe picked up Drake London, so it was Joe that managed to pick up Drake London. So we'll see how that goes for. You know, he's not playing him this week by the looks of it. But then why would you when you've got Michael Thomas, you've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you've got Cooper Kupp punched in, you know, and George Kittle at tight end. Some heck of a team Joe's got, considering he's defending champion, picking last. And Alan's going to need something.
The problem could be Lawrence for his team.
Well, yeah, I think that is the problem for his team. But on the other side, Alan, he's going to need something. He's going to need Josh Reynolds or Kareem Hunt to really do something, I would think. You know, Diggs should do fine and Kirk should do fine. My worry for Diggs this week is you go too far. They go, you know, they're too far ahead of the Giants and he stops throwing the ball.
Yeah, but then you start throwing his helmet and kicking up on the bench. So
yeah, he can do that though.
But that's what you can do when you're a good player. So
that's my worry for this week for him, you know. But yeah, big game for Alan. It really is. Not massive for Joe, but massive game for Alan.
This is a good game.
So Le'Veon
he needs to bounce back after 2 losses.
He does 2 losses after 3-0. He's now lost 2 in a row. So it's that, you know, despite the fact it's 3-2, and you know, you want to break those streaks. Graham's just bounced back with a win after losing a couple, you know, so he's going in the other way. He's got Hubbard punched in there, which should be massive for this week, you know, with Sanders out.
Yeah, but then, of course, he got a good start with 14 points off the Chiefs' defence.
He did, and that's, you know, when you get 14 off your defence, that's pretty big, you know, when you can get that before the week even starts. It's just, it gives you that wee added impetus. So yeah, Michael should be absolutely fine. I reckon he'll be. You've got to fancy Michael with a 14-point start. My issue with Michael, the thing I'm not convinced I'll have. He's 100% fit.
No, he's not done much anyway. But he's not really.
But outside of that, I mean, look at the team that he's got.
He's got Hopkins on the bench. He could have put Hopkins. He had a good game last week.
He's leaving Gino on the bench. Gino's back from bye week, but he's sticking with Stroud. He is a Texas fan, isn't he? So that's no shock there that he's sticking with his own man. But, I mean, Stroud's been doing really well this year. See, I think this is a real close one, this one, you know. If you look at both sides, I don't see where the major weakness lies, you know.
Graham's got 3 commanders. He's got McLaurin, Thomas, and the defense. Yeah. But then you need to think commanders who do better than -1 they did last week. So
yeah, that's probably the biggest weakness, you know. But I mean, McLaurin and Thomas both can score, and yeah, you know, if you look at the flex spot, you know, Thielen's been getting double digits every single week, and Etienne is flying, you know. So, but when you've got guys like that in your flexes, the rest of the team must be sitting fine, and it is. So that's going to be a real close game. I'm looking forward to seeing that one progress. And then finally, we've got Batman's boobies against Eskimo Brothers. Can Ray get it to 3-3? Can Ray get back on the level playing field? Every chance. He's got Cooper playing. He's starting Cooper. He's got to start. Obviously, he's got to start Jimmy G, which is a problem. But he's starting Cooper.
Yeah, but then it's not Walker being quarterback and not the one that played last week, Thompson.
Yeah, no, it's PJ Walker that's quarterback this week. It better be PJ Walker that's quarterback this week because I brought him into Dynasty Empire.
Well, it did say he was starting. But there's another week. Ken Ray's basically picking the team. He's got Myers. He's got for Carlson over Myers.
Yeah. Las
Vegas against New England. But.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Carlson being punched in there at kicker. I think he'll do just fine. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even have Myers on my bench if I'm being honest. But, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Sean's team. He's got Allen in. If Higgins is even on a snap count or anything, he's got Boyd there. You know, Fant can have his weeks. Cook should.
Well, actually, you know, I've got Fant in a couple of PPR ones, and for the last 4 weeks, he's been double digits.
Yeah, there you go. He can definitely score. And of course, when you've got Joe Allen at quarterback, you'll never totally beat, you know. And I think Minnesota are going to run the ball a lot more.
Yeah.
So Mattison should do okay this week. Richard White's plugged back in. He should do okay, you know. Alan Boyd, yeah. I mean, Sean could quite easily get off the map this week, but at the same
he
time...
should. Well, I know Ray's a projected favourite, but McCaffrey will have a harder game, but I don't think
it's a CMC effect, you know. The thing for Ray is if CMC kicks off, then he's got a great chance of winning the game. If CMC's quiet, then you know it's a struggle for him. His weeks do tend to revolve around CMC, which is going to happen when you've got a player of that ability, you know.
Well, he's going to have a lead before the late games because obviously there's Allen, two Allens to come later on. Sunday night and Monday night, so Ray's going to have a decent lead.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, and Ray's all done and dusted after the 9:25. So yes, he will have to pile up a lead and watch Sean chase it down on Monday night, late Sunday and Monday night.
But I'm pretty sure Ray was he not a Patriots fan? And he's got 4 players in that game, 3 of them against the Patriots.
I'm not sure what team he supports, to be honest with you.
I'm pretty sure he was a Patriots fan. I mean, he might want to let us know. But he's got Garoppolo, Myers, and Carlson.
Yeah, he's got the old
Stevenson as well. So he's got 4 players in that game.
Yeah, that's
but it could end up 10-9.
It really could, you know.
Or it could be 96 or 87. It could be anything in that game.
Could be 6-3.
3-0.
So yes, that was week 5, Johnny. Week 5 now in the bag. Yeah. We're into week 6 of 14. So you know, this week, next week, that's us halfway there already. And yep, totally. We're getting, you know, it's getting into the nitty-gritty side now. If you're making a push for the playoffs, now is the time to start your push. You know, so.
Well, I have.
Yes, you've made a move. Just looking
I just want to get to the playoffs, and then you can work it from there. But then, let's get to the playoffs. Like I've won it from the 8th position.
Oh yeah, I've just said I've won it from position 8 as well. More people have won it from 8th than have won it from 1st.
I think there's only maybe 2 won it from 1st. Me and
I don't even think there has been. I don't think anyone's won it from 1st, have they?
I think I won it from 1st.
That must have been that. Yeah, it's
early on. Yeah, but
the 8th. It's all about getting into the playoffs and take it from there, Johnny. That's what it's about. And at this stage, it's getting yourself into position to make the playoff run. You know.
I know. I do need our regular season champion to slip up and lose this week for a chance because the way things are going.
I've lost your sound, Johnny.
Yeah, as I was saying, the best way you need to win the division.
Yes. I think so. I've got my lead in the division. That's what I mean. As I say, if I lose this week, I won't be losing any sleep over it. You know, Alan's got a very good side there, and I won't mind losing that one. But obviously, I don't want to lose it
because it's so close. That many 3s and 2s, 2s and 3s, you could be sitting in like 6th spot in the playoffs, going to the last week, lose, and end up with maybe even the 5th spot.
Yeah,
go and lose out because it's that close. So
it looks like it's going to be a right run to the death for the, you know, kind of. There'll be obviously a few at the top that will be already in, but I do think kind of the last couple of weeks is going to be massive with so many teams. If it keeps going in this vein, there'll be so many teams got a chance to be in and a chance to be out. More to the point, you know.
But the permutations will be doing your head in.
My first target's 8 wins. Get to 8 wins, and that's you in.
Yeah, 8 wins should do it. With the amount of teams that are 2 and 3 and 3 and 2, they've all got to play each other. You've got to reckon 8's a guarantee.
Yeah, I would say 8's a guarantee. 8 gets you in. I would say if you don't get in with 8 and 6, then you've been very, very, very unlucky.
Yes, but you'd have to have like half the league all in 4 and 1 about now.
Yeah, well, maybe.
But that happen. So I think you're pretty. Yeah, you've got a good start.
8 gets you in. So 3 more wins. 3 more wins is the target.
So your target this week is to lose, so you can get the unbeaten record off your back and then start enjoying yourself. Is that it?
That's pretty much it, you know. But at the same time, not wanting to lose the unbeaten record. So you know, catch 22. It's a free week for me.
It is. Unfortunately, not for me. But even if I do lose this week with the injuries and all that, and obviously I'll get Jones back next week. I think it's Jones. I'll or whoever I got back, but I'll be 3-3. So
exactly, anyone who's 3-3, is right on track for me. You know, if you're better than that after 6 weeks, brilliant. You're ahead of the ball, and if you're behind that, then you're below the ball. But nothing's over after 6 weeks either. You know.
No, because
even though
if your division apart from you sweep it, then all of the South will be 3-3 or 0-6.
Yeah.
So that you could potentially have, if you go 5-1, well, even if you win your game, you'll be 6-0. Everybody else will be 3-3. Everyone else in that division will be 3-3, apart from Graham will be 0-6. So it's crazy.
It's nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Bonkers, but it just shows everybody's improving.
Interesting to see what the results are this week and see where it sits next week.
Yes. Well, that's us for this week, and hopefully we'll be back to Thursday night because I'm back to work next weekend.
Cool.
So I'll enjoy the games today. Maybe not
the Giants game later on.
But
good luck, everyone, apart from Doug.
Catch you later, guys.
Good night.